In just a few weeks, the Army Corps of Engineers is supposed to release its plan to prevent the spread of the invasive Asian carp into the Great Lakes.
And lawmakers on Capitol Hill making sure they get results. 13 ABC's Washington correspondent Ted Fiorislo tells us about their latest push.
There are threats to the ecosystem and the $7 billion a year fishing industry in the Great Lakes. Asian carp can grow to be 100 pounds, eat all the food around them, and even injure people when they jump out of the water. Last year, President Obama signed the Stop Invasive Species Act into law, a bipartisan piece of legislation that mandates the Army Corps of Engineers to come up with a plan to permanently prevent the fish from entering the Great Lakes. That report is due at the end of the year.
We're concerned that they're not going to be as specific as they need to be. They've got to do that. They've got to meet their deadlines.
Michigan Senator Debbie Stabenow and Ohio Senator Rob Portman co-authored the Stop Invasive Species Act. Last week, the 16 senators from states that surround the Great Lakes sent this letter to the Army Corps, calling on them to identify remaining steps to cut off all Asian carp entry points into the Great Lakes.
The Army Corps had focused just on one watershed, which was the Mississippi River. Now we have them focused on that, but also more broadly.
Portman says 2 grass carp were recently found in the Sandusky River, a tributary which flows into Lake Erie. He's afraid the more destructive Asian carp could follow suit.
And if you get the invasive species in there, this Asian carp, it could ruin the fishery over time. And as you know, Lake Erie's got a lot of invasive species. This is one we don't want.
Time is of the essence. In September, an Asian carp was found near the Calumet River, which feeds into Lake Michigan.
The Army Corps has got to give us some specific ways where we can work from an engineering standpoint to change the flow around the rivers so that we are protecting the Great Lakes.
In Washington, I'm Ted Fiorislo.